Hi everyone, I'm sorry because of the maximum duration for the video to be recorded is actually 15 minutes. So I will record it part by part lah. Okay. Sebab kalau too long also you pun boring juga, right, to listen. So we continue just now how we actually adapt or the concept of Maslow hierarchy of needs applied ataupun the concept to be applied in tourism. Okay, so let's say physiological needs yang we want to feel people want to fulfill their very basic needs. So what kind of tourism products or tour package that they actually look for? Alright, so for example, tour package that offer frequent rest stops. Alright, so meaning that this kind of people maybe they must have frequent stops for before they continue their trips. Alright, so certain people mungkin cepat penat dan sebagainya, so they really need this kind of tour package. So we must understand as a service provider, we must understand them. Easily accessible food outlets in theme park. So theme park we know that it's a place for fun, main sampai tak ingat dunia, right? So some people mungkin they think that and kalau boleh they do not want to go out because they want to finish a lot of games there. So definitely they must make sure that the tour package for theme parks there are a lot of accessible foods available in the area. Alright, so next is sleeping shelters strategically located in the applicant trail. Lepas ni search what is actually applicant trail. So mungkin quite hard for them to seek for the shelters facilities. Shelters mean kita nak tempat nak berlindung, nak berteduh dan sebagainya, right? So they really must make sure that dia punya trip at this area must have a strategic sleeping shelters for them to experience the journey in this area. Okay, so this is how we relate physiological needs fulfillment, okay, in travel activities. So second hierarchy of needs is safety. Alright, so what type of tour package or tour products that is actually to fulfill the safety needs of people. So first, probably example given here, reservation service provided at government approved agencies or locations. So meaning that if they travel especially abroad, overseas, for example, in order for them to secure their safety and security, so they must make sure that the area that they stay probably near with the government areas ataupun embassy, for example, or they must choose lodging that is actually approved by government, alright, or the local authority. If not, dia mungkin akan feel insecure. So next is cruise ship lines. Example, cruise ship lines providing medical facilities and doctors as part of their standard services. Okay, as we know that cruise activities, you will be on the sea, alright, trip dekat atas laut for actually quite long. There are probably kalau long cruise 15 to 20 days up to 15 to 20 days. So 15 ke 20 hari on the sea. If anything happens, so it's very hard for people to seek for help, especially for people yang mungkin ada problem in terms of health problem. So they must make sure that the cruise ship package that they buy, alright, must provide this kind of medical facilities just to make sure that if anything happen to them, so they can refer to this atau they can go to the facilities available in the cruise. Right, so next is tour guide services provided in exotic or unfamiliar locations. So this is quite obvious di mana when people travel to unfamiliar locations, exotic, dekat mana Amazon ke kan, tiba anaconda banyak, when we know that there are probably some dangerous species available in that particular location, but kita ada niat to explore, alright, but so in order for us to make sure that the safety of us tu, so we must make sure that there are some ataupun there are tour guide services to assist us in this kind of locations or area. So see how kita actually fulfill this type of needs in travel and tour activities. Alright, so next is belongingness needs. Alright, kan kita I cakap tadi, some people travel to seek for relationship, to build new relationship, making new friends whatsoever. So mungkin they seek for group tours with people having similar interests. So when they travel, they can up to find a group of people that have similar interests with them, so they will feel togetherness. Alright, so next is group recognition gained by belonging or to frequent user program. Okay, frequent user program is kind of membership. Let's say, for example, airlines, if you travel or fly a lot, alright, for certain miles yang mungkin you dah fly, so the airlines mungkin will give you recognition as a frequent flyer. So frequent user program ni for airlines, example dia, we call it as frequent flyer. Maknanya you travel frequently. Frequent means kerap. Alright, so bila you rasa kekerapan tu, so you ada mungkin ada airlines will conduct one special event for their frequent flyer members. So bila you gather together with all the frequent flyer members, so you will feel togetherness again. Alright, so next, trips made to explore one's ancestral roots. What is ancestral roots? Ancestral means you punya, nak cari balik you punya apa, waris, ataupun nenek moyang kita. So some people travel untuk cari balik susu galur dia. For example, kalau you nak tahu Melaka, for example, we receive a lot of tourists yang maybe dia cari dia punya relatives yang mungkin masa zaman-zaman jajahan dulu. Alright, so itu kita kategorikan sebagai to explore dia punya ancestral roots. So they want to feel belongingness. Mungkin dia nak cari atuk nenek moyang dia here. Alright, so next is esteem. Alright, esteem ni I cakap tadi adalah ego. Alright, so elite status again, ni contoh yang lebih kurang sama. Tadi kalau mungkin they want to feel togetherness, mungkin dia nak jumpa member frequent flyer. But then ada juga yang dapat frequent flyer program tu dia rasa cukup bangga. Alright, so they want to feel prestige. Alright, so elite status in frequent user program. Mungkin aku dah diamond, orang lain aku dah diamond, orang lain baru silver. Alright, so mungkin ada rasa ego di situ. Alright, so meaning that dia akan travel more and more and more just to have hierarchy of membership in frequent user program. Okay, so next, incentive travel awards for superior company performance. Okay, incentive travel is actually, namanya pun incentive, is actually mungkin kind of appreciation. So incentive travel ni, okay, incentive can be in any form. Monetary, kita bagi duit, for example. So incentive selalu given by employers, majikan kepada pekerja, okay, to appreciate dia punya staff. It can be in any form. For example, bonus, that is common incentive given by employees to employee. But then instead of giving in terms of monetary forms, so mungkin employers, more and more employers today, they will give incentive in terms of travel package. Alright, agak-agak apa kelebihan when they give incentive travel package to their employees instead of duit? Kalau duit, you bagi duit, habis gitu je, betul? Alright, today the employers give you incentive in terms of bonus, duit, alright, mungkin petang tu pun dah habis dah. So why not dia kata, okay, let's say, kenapa dia bagi incentive? Because of probably because of your achievement. Okay, you already achieved the target of the company, so they will the employer want to appreciate you. So when you receive incentive, definitely you will feel proud. Mungkin ada orang lain yang tak dapat, so itu adalah salah satu esteem or ego needs, fulfilling of ego needs. So bila you dapat tu, you akan rasa lebih bagus daripada orang lain. Okay, so more and more employees akan bagi incentive travel to their employees, supaya at the same time, bila you dapat incentive travel tu, you can also release your stress. Okay, maknanya it's an appreciation of the employers to the employees. At the same time, employees must feel bangga lah. Alright, so next, flowers, champagne and other tokens provided to guests in recognition of special occasions. So we as a service provider, let's say if we know that our guests or our clients tu mungkin travel because of to celebrate, let's say dia nak celebrate birthday of their partners, right, ataupun celebrate higher achievers in the company, so we must actually meraikan juga together. Alright, so how kita raikan? So by providing probably a card of congratulation in their room pun dah cukup baik dah. Alright, so that is example lah. Okay, so next is self-actualization needs. How people fulfill their self-actualization through travel activities. For example, educational tours and cruise. You know what, cruise is actually not all people actually afford, alright, to buy tour package, but today ada juga yang affordable kind of cruise package. Alright, tapi when we talk about the real cruise package or tour, dia memang mahal lah. So that's why stated here, educational tour yang dekat dalam cruise tu bukannya educational tour yang biasa, educational tour or cruise tour. Alright, so as fulfilling self-actualization needs. So dia maksud dia, kalau you tak join cruise tour ni, you join the tour, the normal tour pun tak ada masalah, tapi because of you nak capai something in your life, especially as a tourist, alright, the more you experience, alright, the more you rasa nak try something new, so mungkin this is one of the option. Okay, so next is trekking through Nepal. Nepal ni ada apa? Everest. So Everest ni not all people actually dare to challenge themselves to go, because it challenge you punya physical limits. Kalau you tak ada good health condition, you tak ada emotionally strong dan sebagainya, you memang cannot lah. That's why dia mungkin included in self-actualization needs. Next is learning the language and culture before travelling to another country and then practicing on arrival. Not all people can do this. Alright, so if you manage to do this, let's say you before you go to Korea, for example, so you practice first, you learn the language and the culture. Once you arrive, and then you can practice it. Balik pun boleh practice lagi, so it's kind of high achievement. So that's why these are some of the examples. Alright, when we apply the concept of Maslow hierarchy of needs in travel and tour activities, right? Okay, next teori, pening sikit teori ni, travel career patterns. You jangan keliru, mungkin ada confuse sikit because of nama career kat situ, career. Alright, dia istilah je career pattern, tapi dia teori motivation lah sebenarnya. Okay, this TCP was developed by Peirce based on Maslow hierarchy of needs, but it goes further by providing more detail. Maknanya dia ada adapt sikit-sikit pasal Maslow hierarchy of needs, tapi dia lebih specific on tourist behavior. So TCP model attempt to explain individual behaviors on the basis of stages of tourist life cycle. Maksud tourist life cycle kat sini, kalau kita as human, kita ada life cycle kita daripada baby, naik remaja, naik dewasa, sampai kita naik tua, nak jadi tua balik, betul? But then as a tourist also, you ada juga your life cycle. Meaning that mungkin you baru start explore jadi travellers. Betul? Right, let's say you mungkin, kalau you very new in travelling, mungkin you will tend to choose a very near destination or attraction, and then bila dah lagi experience mungkin nak go lebih jauh sikit, right, domestically. Tapi bila dah more experience as travel, you dah ada experience, oh nak travel ni senang je punya, nak buat itu, so you challenge yourself, mungkin dah nak cross border pula. Alright, so that is called as tourist life cycle. Itu maksud dia, the more experience you becoming to become a tourist, the more challenge kind of destination or activities that you will choose to experience. Itu maksud travel career patterns. Kenapa nama dia career? Because of kalau dalam career, job career you sama juga. Alright, so kalau you mula-mula kerja, you tend to mungkin tahu basic things or basic skills, right? But the more you experience to be the employees ataupun do your job, the more challenge tasks you will receive. That's why it is called as travel career patterns. Alright, so meaning that kat sini dia highlight lah core motive, middle layer motive and also outer layer motive. Core motive maknanya yang memang common motif yang as a tourist yang mungkin you nak cari. So escape, relax, simple. Kalau middle layer yang moderately important, alright, maknanya yang lebih dalam sikit, alright, nature, alright, self-actualization. Outer layer ni sebenarnya tak buat pun tak apa, tapi dia less important motif, alright. So maknanya kalau dalam the more experience you jadi tourist or travel tu, it's actually dah jadi less important motivation as a tourist. Alright, so itu maksud dia. The more you experience, you be the tourist, right? The more challenge kind of travel and tourism activities that you will try to choose, right, or experience.